So here we are again. Time for tea talk.
Beautiful. Milk, sir.
Thank you.
Ooh. So,
Cheers.
cheers. The weekend, your thoughts?
I had a cracking time.
Well, me too.
It was much needed. Really enjoyed it. And as you know me, I enjoy from the minute we set off. So,
Absolutely.
but I'm glad, I must admit, I'm glad that the horse fair, is it Appleby?
Oh yeah, Appleby.
Had happened. Because I must admit, I have been on the A66 that weekend and it's absolute torture.
Well, it was a bit of a tricky start, wasn't it? Because they were doing hedge cutting and trimming the sideways, so that caused a bit of a delay.
Inevitable though, isn't it really?
Well, they need to do that, they do.
But the trip on the A66 was good. No speeding tickets.
No, we're across
Which
that
is always
one now.
good.
We know where it goes to the average speed, and absolutely.
So I must admit, I enjoyed, because I've never stayed or stopped at that, I can't pronounce, is it Reghead?
Reghead, yeah.
The services. So I've stopped for fuel before when I was going to visit a customer over in the lakes, but never actually gone inside and realised that it was a, what was there? There was a art centre, cinema.
There was a pop-up craft shop, but it's very...
Deli.
It wasn't cutesy, it was nice crafts, wasn't it? Yeah, there was a
and
deli.
a very high-end, should we call it, outdoor sport, outdoor wear.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. And bits and bobs and accessories and a gift shop.
No, it's good. It breaks the journey up.
And it has been tastefully done. And did you see through the window where the cinema was a lovely lake?
I didn't realise what it was. I saw the body of water.
Oh. No, it was lovely.
But I saw that.
Yeah, that's like... I mean, there's that other super service station down the M6 that we've never been to, have we?
Oh, the one that's got like the... Is it an ethical
It's a farm
services?
Shop, yeah, I think it's got a living roof, but yeah.
I do know about it, but like you say, never been.
Never been.
So then, obviously, Keswick.
Keswick.
And I'm not a massive fan of parking in Keswick, so obviously this idea of parking, because the idea of parking off street, or should we say not in a car park, was because of that triathlon.
Yeah, because the big main car park was closed, and they'd already closed it, hadn't they? Which was a bit of a shock. We thought it was just going to be on the Sunday.
So I think moving forward, that's an absolute given now.
Yeah,
that we
weren't in anybody's way.
No, not at all.
Nice. It was quite a walk. Probably too much for some people, but and the weather was a bit
Good
iffy.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Took us to and again
The top end, though,
yes,
didn't it? Which was nice as well. So we saw different. There was a little arcade we saw, and it also took us near the boot shop.
Yeah.
Popped in there.
Not sure about that.
No, I mean, I think after all that, and then they said they were going end of line, which this is what I'm struggling with. The fact that the boots that work for me have gone end of line, and I can't replace them with those, so I don't want to start again with a new pair to me that's already end of line and I can't replace, so... No,
well, what was the thing we found out, or the good thing about going in there? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
So the fact that I've got 2 pairs of boots put to bed.
Oh, yes, he was telling you this, wasn't he?
You told me absolutely not to do that, to use them, otherwise they'll just, well, he said disintegrate. I mean, that sounds a bit of a strong...
But then, that was then reinforced in our favourite shop, in the Páramo shop, when just totally coincidentally we were told that their clothing biodegrades and the treatment.
Well, the protection.
Well, yeah,
biodegrades.
but also the actual, because theirs is recycled stuff, isn't it? It's
Páramo
recycled from yeah. But yeah, so thinking, crikey, that's a lesson learned. Crack on, get wearing it. Don't put things to bed. Just keep them all
Yeah,
in
no,
a nice
I'll
rotation.
I'll rotate those boots.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep one for very, very dry weather, one for very, very wet weather, and the other in
And then
between
just
kind of thing.
crack on with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that I had that problem, being down to one pair of boots. I need to sort that soon. But having feet that are such a big difference.
Well, you just got to carry on looking.
Well, yeah, I know.
And you'll find a brand that's like maybe an independent like that.
I mean, they were too small. They was trying to get me into, but they were really good round the ankles.
And obviously the downside of an independent, he tries really hard.
No, and I wasn't being difficult. They just weren't right.
You almost want someone that's not on commission. It's just their job. If they sell a pair of boots, great. If they don't, well, that's just one of those things. Because you don't want any issues and anything like that.
We know what tyre kickers are like, and it's not nice when you're just trying to run your business. But no they weren't right, so I can't.
But anyway, we were very lucky that we were in a position to buy a couple of items from Páramo.
Yep. So
my lightweight smock and your, well, we thought right size windproof.
Well, it's this unisex business, isn't it? It's not,
It's not in all the items, it's only in a few items.
Oh yeah, just a few.
But anyway, and then the huge disappointment, because we talked about it all morning, was that we were going to go for a cup of tea, and I can't remember the name of the cafe.
Nor can I, but
The Betty's-esque
of the lakes. Yeah.
of the lakes.
And
what time was it? It was about 4 o'clock.
5 to 4.
Cafe closes at 4:30. We go in, we've closed. Now, is that the time old? Well, say the time old. The new issue of didn't have the staff? Or was it a case of staff that wanted to basically be closed up, ready to leave on the dot
At 4:30.
when the shop closes?
Which
Who knows?
Catering, it's just, we've all done our stints in catering through our lives, haven't we? In different jobs. No. So yes, it was a bit of a
Sure enough.
letdown.
But anyway, we got over that. Straight to the hotel.
Straight to the hotel, therefore.
Which was the Royal Oak.
Royal Oak at Rosthwaite.
Oh, very nice, yeah. I struggled to say that.
But a lovely trip down.
Yeah.
That, crikey.
10 miles?
Stunning.
8 miles south of Keswick.
Tops. Yeah, but great.
Got a good
Along
sighter
Derwent
on the, where did we go?
The Ladore Falls.
Ladore Falls, which we're going to dinner at later. So that was good. The thing that amused me when we checked into the hotel, when she assumed we were going to have dinner there.
With them, yeah. It was almost, and what time do you want it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
And when we said no, we've got other dinner reservations. Oh, right.
That was it then, wasn't it?
Our card was marked from then on. But I thought the room was fine. I mean, if you remember, it was cold when we got in because they've got, obviously, the central heating was set for the entire hotel. They determined when your radiator would come on.
And we were in an outbuilding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No independent thermostat.
No, according to your...
And let's be fair, the next day, which we'll come on to, when we came back, and we were cold, we didn't have a choice. We couldn't put the heating on.
No, not even the towel rail in the
But I get it,
bathroom.
because somebody would walk out in the morning.
Oh, they'd leave all the windows open and have it cranked up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's what spoils it for we consider it
Sure.
view, didn't it?
Bit of a key drama. How long were we stood waiting outside?
I mean, that was, wasn't it?
Quarter of an hour?
And then we were up against it because we would like to eat early for our dinner reservation. But yeah, somebody had gone with the key and then they had a drama trying to find...
Yeah, but anyway, they got us in.
We got in. And I think it was made to feel cooler because there wasn't a rug or anything on the floor, was there? Which we then realised was because doggies are permitted.
Probably people with boots.
Yeah, which isn't, again, it's understandable, but it wasn't, the images that we saw on the website were not those rooms, and it's just a bit disappointing, isn't it?
It is, but, you have to make best of it, don't you?
But position, crikey, I mean, literally.
Yeah, well.
I mean, the beck running out the back. But sadly, you couldn't hear the beck because the double glazing.
Unless the window was wide open.
Sound like I'm really moaning here. But no, it's a good spot.
Yeah, and then dinner.
Wow.
What was that? Was it Mizo?
Yes.
Anyway, it was it Pan-Asian?
Pan-Asian.
And that was at the Ladore Falls. But I think we made a good choice there.
That was a real event.
Yeah.
And not out of this way, was it? It wasn't...
Not really. For us, it was very much a celebration dinner. You know, a treat dinner. It wasn't an every week
It was an
dinner.
event, yeah.
But what?
And it wasn't just a feed. If you...
Oh no!
if you know
But the
what I
soft
mean.
shell crab,
Oh, crikey.
lovely.
Don't forget the entree that we chose.
Oh yeah,
The
no,
geisha
beautiful.
martini.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean,
Some fizzy sake.
fizzy sake. And dressed with lovely...
Oh yeah, the flowers,
Pansies.
the edible
Edible
flowers.
flowers.
Yeah, no, beautiful. No, I really enjoyed it.
It was and it creates a memory, which is super.
Yeah.
It's not just a steak and chips, is it? It was.
No, absolutely.
But that soft shell crab. Ooh. Wow. Again, it took a bit of getting my head round, but I loved it.
Yeah, no, I did.
And the view. I let you have the view.
Yeah,
seat
of
there.
the waterfall.
You could
yeah.
see the waterfall, the Ladore of the falls.
No, I enjoyed
So,
that.
Yeah.
And then obviously on to the main event, which was the next day. Hearty breakfast.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed
Very
that.
good.
Can't knock a full English
Lovely
breakfast at
damson
all.
jam. Oh my word.
No, that was
Yeah.
very good.
Yes.
And then the walk. So we'd picked the walk, hadn't we, beforehand?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, we had, hadn't we?
Yeah, now you'll have to remind me the name of the hamlet.
I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but something like Wattonlath.
Wattonlath, that sounds right.
Something like that.
But the beauty of it was that, because we literally walked from the hotel, didn't we?
And that was part of the
Oh,
walk.
crikey, can you remember the border
Well,
collie?
that was hilarious.
Quarter of a mile?
Easy. Literally, we turned
Picked
out
him
of the
up-
hotel.
picked him up at
he
the
jumped
hotel.
out of his car,
Absolutely.
came walking with us.
I couldn't hear a single person
Nobody
shouting
was...
or worried that he wasn't with them or she wasn't with
He
them.
went over the beck.
I got to the point where I thought, is this now where you leave and you know that you're at your boundary? But yeah, it was a quarter of a mile, I think.
Yeah, easily.
The thing that amused me about that walk, because it was a good pull up to Wattonlath, where the first tarn was. It was a good pull, and there was probably 3 groups in front of us.
3 or 4, yeah.
Because we are,
Those
shall we say,
guys.
slow and steady, but we don't actually like to stop.
No.
Because
And I cool down straight away.
it doesn't suit us, does it?
No.
And there's fair enough people that can go off at a good pace. But it was interesting that all 3 of those groups went off at a good pace in front of us. We let them go off. But we were at Wattonlath.
Well ahead of
Well
everybody.
ahead,
They were nowhere
But-
to be seen.
But that's
were they?
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it doesn't,
I mean, it is the
tortoise
tortoise
and the hare.
I
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Exactly. Pinky.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, I know. And we didn't go into the hamlet itself, did we? But
Well, we didn't need to
No.
because, again, I suspect a lot of people go, is there a cafe or something?
there is a cafe there, and they can drive to it. I mean, it's all National Trust maintained land, isn't it? So I presume it's
right.
tenants. But there was a dog howling, wasn't there? Bless it.
I read that this was a favourite of the National Trust Rangers, this walk.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's...
apparently. But anyway,
Well,
so we
I can see
turned.
why. Moving on.
We turned at the tarn, and again there was another good pull where we did. There was a 200-foot climb, we'll call it.
So is
and
that
then
where we waited for that chap to get
Yes.
down with the sticks?
And I don't mean it was a climb having to use your hands, but it wasn't vertical either, but it was a stop. Oh crikey! Right, that's a good old incline. And it was 10 minutes to do that 200 feet, something like that. A good pull.
And while it was a stone path that they'd traversed up there, that they'd laid, it was still, you had to concentrate. And I was leaning, I had my heavy pack on because I'd taken all manner of clothing. I had to lean into it and just keep, it was, keeping,
Yeah.
there was as much concentration going on as it was making the ticker tick.
Well, that's good. It was newish for us, so that's not a bother. And then, of course, as we approached the second tarn, what happened? You described, because you had the view.
Really? Well, as we went around to the side and were following the peat path, done a little bit of a clamber as the path had gone over some quite rocky bits, bit of climbing for me, okay for the taller gentleman. And then the path disappeared on you. All I saw was leg overhead and thought, oh my God, how am I going to unpick this? And to my great surprise, you just stand up laughing.
But, you know, you've got to, well, I say you've got to appreciate that could have gone a couple of ways. You know,
Yeah.
Who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, we won't.
We don't dwell on it.
Say.
But what have we learned from that then? What have we learned? Anything?
Well, that we you know, we're confident, but you can't be confident and complacent, can you? You know, you do.
What
still
about
have
kit?
to.
Do we need to think about any other
Well,
kit?
immediately when we got back down and I stopped panicking, I said, because you were so close to that tarn, I said we needed a rope, so we found out the.
Yeah, we'll get a rope.
Yeah. You know, we do, because there wasn't. I mean, there was somebody came over the hill. Luckily.
But it's the only person we'd seen for hours.
Yeah, and there was nobody behind, and the hamlet was away, you know, and no phone signal. It was, you know, all manner of, and me really probably would have struggled with anything.
So is there anything immediately a rope, or is it anything else, do you think?
Well, we've got first aid kit, haven't we? We've got mirrors, and we've got whistles and
strobe lights
and all that good stuff.
You know, and let's be fair, we're not going to get
a sat phone
or a, what do you call it, a flare or anything daft like that. We're not in the Antarctic or deepest, darkest or anything like that. So
do we need something, a blanket or something? Because the only other option is to, there's only two of us, is to leave the person warm and secure while you
For years I had one of those little tin foil survival blankets.
Well, that's all
that
we
you see
need.
paramedics have.
It's just that, isn't it? Just
okay, well, let's make a deal then that we get one of those.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was fine. We laughed about it.
It was not an exceptional walk, but it was, you know, it was moderate to hard, and we tend to do easy to moderate, don't we?
Yeah, well, we enjoy doing plenty of miles, like 20 miles flattish.
Yeah.
Or 10 miles with a good few elevations, not 6.5 with plenty of elevation. I mean, that took us 4 hours.
Yeah, and we're steady paced, aren't we?
Oh, we don't stop.
I know the descent, which we'll
so
come on
you
to.
can well, that was it, wasn't it? As soon as the heavens opened, we had to start coming down on that very tricky down to Stone. Do you know? I'm shocking to remember. Stonethwaite.
Yeah.
And that chap we saw about 10 minutes before we started that descent told us about it. Unfortunately, told us how his sister had an injury, but every step you were concentrating on. You couldn't just walk down.
No, you couldn't relax your back and just get into it, no.
And as I say, with it being so wet, you just had to watch every step. But anyway, we made it down.
Slow but steady. A few little slippies and wobbles, but
no near misses really. Back to the hotel.
Absolutely drenched. As I say, osmosis was not my friend that day.
No.
Even though my knees were, were wet. Soon everything was wet.
Yeah.
Travelling up the trousers.
And I get why they didn't put the drying room on, but we put all the kit in there.
As did our fellow guests.
But jumping ahead, it was disappointing in the morning the drying room hadn't been on.
We were going home, but those guys were doing another walk, weren't they?
I wouldn't
Into
enjoy
soggy
that.
Boots. That's the worst thing, I think.
I wouldn't enjoy that at all.
If they could have packed them, couldn't they? They could have got some of that moisture out.
Yeah.
With some paper or something.
But they relied on the drying room.
They relied on that, and everything was still satched. In fact, the things we'd put in the back of the car were drier than.
But
in there.
As ever, fantastic hot shower. Makes you feel 1,000 times better.
I mean, that is one of the best showers.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Brilliant.
Really was a. But you needed that to get yourself warmed up, didn't you?
And we'd got dinner booked
Let's
at
just
a time.
say you were getting yourself so warmed up, you set off the fire alarm,
Oh, yeah.
which
Crikey.
was rather
She was
fascinating.
convinced, the woman that came and knocked on the door, that we were having a crafty
Having a
fag.
ciggy.
When you said that it had started in the shower room, I think she probably rolled her eyes, did she?
Well, she just said, as long as you're okay. I said, yes, we're fine.
Right.
It's just my husband's having a very hot shower.
To warm up. I enjoy a hot shower after a walk.
Oh, gosh.
So anyway, back into Keswick.
Back into Keswick.
Bit drizzly.
A bit
Hadn't
drizzly
finished.
initially and absolutely hoiked it down.
Yeah. But trying out the new Páramo, that worked lovely. For
I
a
got
cocktail.
my Páramo exchanged.
Any way you can remember, something Walker. Derwent Walker,
Oh, yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it?
was it?
Yeah. Yes, very good, you.
So for a very rare, because although we talked about having a cocktail the night before, that was a special treat. Because, you know, that's probably 2 weeks worth of drinks in 2 nights.
Yeah.
So that was good. Enjoyed in there. And then we
Just
booked.
bailed out before the crowds came.
Well,
to
yeah,
bring
that's
it,
not
and
us
the hen
anymore, is
nights
it?
and the
That's not us anymore.
whatever they were. But
But
no.
the Thai was.
Catering for tourists, I think.
I would say
is
so.
the way to describe it.
I would say so, and perhaps families. It was a limited menu, no specials, but perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheap and cheerful,
enjoyed.
great service, good food.
Lovely. Yeah.
What more do you need? And when you
And a jungle curry, which is,
when you've had a taxing day, it really hit the
make
spot.
it
So nothing wrong with that. Then unfortunately Scotland lost
oh, yes.
football. I can't remember. Was it 5-1, 4-1? Kind of not lost interest, but disheartened after it. So that wasn't good at all.
But
And
it
then
was a nice end to the
no,
day.
I enjoyed it.
We weren't perturbed by the fact we were drenched and just.
No. So next morning, breakfast didn't need the full English.
No.
Eggs Benedict, they were very good.
Absolutely fine. More dams and jam. Beautiful.
Oh yeah. And then obviously on to Grasmere.
Onto Grasmere. So yeah, so
How long is
despite
it since we will be there? Is it 18 months or is it 2.5 years? It's just
no,
18
it's
months
18 months since we were there.
when we stayed at the Daffodil,
Daffodil. Yeah.
which we really
We went to
I think I enjoyed that more than you did, because I enjoyed the spa.
Well, no, it was lovely. And we went to, was it the Jumble Room or the Jungle Room? Jungle, was it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, that
Little
was great.
independent
Fantastic
that
place.
time. But yeah,
So, but the difference
Grasmere,
is, of course, 18 months ago was January,
January, and
and that suited me very well. Not busy. Granted, not everything was open,
I mean the Wordsworth Cottage wasn't open, was it?
and the
So
gallery that we
things
went
like
in this
that.
time wasn't open in January last year.
No, I would say it was 50% really.
And
I mean, gingerbread was open though.
gingerbread was open with a massive queue, so much so that we didn't actually go and get any, which saved us obviously a couple of quid.
This time, yeah. We got some 18 months ago.
But do you think in January last year they charged 60p to go to the toilet?
Oh,
Because that's what they were charging
Yeah.
this time. Can you remember how much a single cone was at all the ice cream stalls?
was it £3.50?
£3.50.
Was that just a scoop,
Scoop, yeah.
not a cone?
Oh, I don't
Just a
know.
scoop,
I saw
scoop.
one scoop.
Oh, okay.
2 scoops, I think, was £4.50. So that just shows you, it's just,
The pop it up.
yeah.
And it was full, wasn't it? I mean, they were walking all over the road. It was a bit of a nightmare, really. I found it quite.
Electric cars.
Yeah.
People don't move. People don't hear them. That's why it's good to have a noisy truck. But anyway, I still like Grasmere. But again, I don't know now when I need to go back unless we were staying there. But when we left, it was good to reminisce about the when we came out. What's the next town? Is it Ambleside? Is it Ambleside?
Ambleside, yeah.
Because, of course, we came out when we'd done the coffin walk.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed
Rydal. I mean, that's the actual place where Wordsworth lived.
Oh,
as
of course,
well.
you go past the house, don't
Yeah,
you?
upon the left.
But I
and
really-
Rydal Water is the
Of
lake
course,
there.
yes.
Because we walked around that and they were all there that
On
time.
the other side.
And even in January, they were all there with the buggies.
Yes,
weren't
of
they?
course they were. But I enjoyed
So-
that walk. You know, I
Yeah,
really
but we
did.
soon left all that behind. As soon as you put a bit of elevation on, you
Yeah.
leave that behind.
And then obviously just an amble back.
Amble back, yeah. Windermere, Kendal, good old Devil's Bridge, and then back into Yorkshire.
Incident free from memory.
So,
And again, I also like going through, is it Gargrave, and seeing where we've been on the canal.
I know we like to get to Johnson and Johnson, as we call it. Then we know that
it hasn't been that for years, has it?
we've got the view then of the Lees of Liverpool, the windy corner.
Yeah.
Where
More of that
people
later.
abandon ship.
Well, I don't know about that. But no, I could go on that canal anytime.
It looked busier, which was good, wasn't it? Because last time we did a walk last summer, it was.
Oh, of course, we did a
quiet.
good
We
few
didn't see
miles, didn't we?
Did we see a boat?
Oh, we kept commenting to people, didn't we? We've been walking for 4 hours, not seen a single
Not
boat.
a boat in action. No.
Oh, well.
Oh, it looks.
And then I'm pleased we stopped at that garden centre again.
Just outside Ripon.
Yeah. Again, I don't know the name of it, but
I think
clearly...
it's the Olive Restaurant. I don't know the name
Is
of the
it?
garden centre, but...
But clearly it's not...
A garden centre, really.
Well,
Is it now?
we all know garden centres, but I think that, you know, that if I was to say, anecdotally, 90% of its business comes from the cafe, I don't think I'd be exaggerating.
And the girls were frazzled. I said, I said to them, I said, oh yes, I've been really busy.
But no, I enjoyed it.
And it's easy access for people, isn't it? They take the dogs and they can wheel the wheelchairs in. So, no, it was lovely.
And then obviously straight back home. Back to sunny North Yorkshire.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it'd been wet here, didn't it? Which I suppose was good. All the plants survived.
Yeah.
3 days without any attention.
So all in all, a thoroughly enjoyable weekend.
And now
we need
planning.
planning for the next one. Very good.
Very good. Cheers.